Welcome to Umbrella vs. Wind, where our stick hero fights air with a portable wing and a stubborn grin. City canyons don't just blow. They shapeshift the breeze into rivers that speed up between buildings, then spill into eddies at intersections. A tiny HUD floats near the handle. Wind, speed, gust timer, angle of attack. The goal is in brute force. It's choreography. Turn the canopy into a controlled surface. Not a sail with opinions. We'll draft, we'll pivot, and sometimes we'll surrender with dignity. Physics doesn't negotiate, but it does reward good footwork. First principle, wind is pressure, wearing sneakers. When fast air squeezes through a narrow gap, Venturi says the speed jumps and static pressure drops. That's why corners feel like someone flipped a turbo switch. If you walk straight into that nozzle with your umbrella broadside, you gift the gust maximum drag and a slapstick origin story. Rotate a few degrees so flow can spill. Let the canopy knife the current and shift your stance so your center of mass lives above your base. Not flirting with the curb. Angle of attack is your steering wheel. Tilt the canopy just shy of stall enough to shed water and push the wind to one side. Not so steep that the flow detaches and yanks your arm. Imagine the umbrella as a lazy wing. Small angle when wind rises. Bigger angle when rain demands coverage. Always adjusting to keep the handle quiet. The HUD pings green when drag dips and lift the heat. If the handle buzzes like a bee, you're asking too much. Ease the tilt until the vibration becomes a purr. Grip matters more than gym membership. Choke up on the shaft to shorten the lever arm and tame torque. Keep elbows soft so gusts move the canopy, not your skeleton. Feet go wide, one slightly forward. Toes pointed along the wind's average direction. You're a tripod that reconfigures every few steps. When the gust hits, micros step into it rather than away, absorbing force with legs instead of wrists. If your shoulders are doing the work, you've already lost. Let hips handle the negotiations. Corner, ambush, tie. You exit a calm side street, and while the main avenue slaps your canopy inside out. Freeze framing the embarrassment won't help. Instead, anticipate. Before you reach the corner, lower the umbrella height, reduce angle of attack, and rotate windward so the gust sees edges, not billboard. As you clear the corner, step into the flow. Then reopen coverage once the HUD gust timer comes. Think of it like merging lane signal with your posture. Then commit cleanly. Recovery is an art. If the canopy inverts, don't yank it straight. That just auditions the ribs for early retirement. Drop the angle to 0. Let the wind blow it back. Then re-engage gently from a sheltered side. If a rib locks, fold, rotate the canopy tail to windward, and coax it home. The best fix is the one you don't need because you pre-rotated and lowered your profile. Umbrellas forgive, but aluminum remembers. Your wrist will to tomorrow morning. Drafting behind buses is the grown-up version of hiding behind a big sibling. Large vehicles create a wake pocket with lower relative wind, especially at walking speed. Slip in a safe, legal distance behind the rear quarter knot. The bumper end, enjoy the calmer bubble. When the bus pulls away, expect a cross-suck and then a slap of free stream wind. Prepare with a slight pre-lean, tighten your grip, and reorient the canopy so the re-entry feels like gliding, not getting fired from a cannon. Building corners spawn recirculation, zones the air loops back on itself, creating rogue eddies that shove from surprising angles. Spot them by watching steam vents, flag behavior, dangling signage, even the pattern of rain streaks on glass. If everything nearby trembles in different directions, you're in the blender. Shorten the canopy's span by lowering it and edging closer to the windward wall, where flow is more predictable. When in doubt, pause a beat and let the gusts tantrum end. Knowing when to fold is a power move, not a surrender. A compact, vented umbrella can survive abuse, but no canopy beats a gale every time. If your HUD gust meter spikes and your elbow becomes the pivot of the universe, fold with intent. Rotate your body windward and use the umbrella as a wind break against your hip. Switch to Hudonchel mode for a block, then redeploy in a calmer pocket. The dry hero is the one who lived to open another day. Bridges audition for crosswind villainy. With nothing to break flow, gusts arrive, clean, hard, and sideways. Assume the handrail is honest, but busy. Walk on the windward side so the railing is between you and the edge. Preload a mild lean toward the wind. Keep steps short and rhythmic, and angle the canopy to shed flow above the rail, not into it. If the deck flexes, time your footfalls to avoid stomping at peak swear resonance is fun in labs, not on walkways. Rain coverage is a balancing act between dryness and drag. Aim to shelter your face and chest first. Legs will forgive more than eyes will. Tilt the canopy so runoff tracks away from your sleeve hand. If water is sheeting off the windward edge onto you, rotate a few degrees and lower an inch. Light, breathable shells earn their keep here. They reduce the amount of umbrella coverage you need, allowing a drag-friendly, narrower profile that keeps the canopy quiet and you less soggy. Let's make the invisible visible. Picture neon streamlines wrapping the canopy. Clean stripes mean attached flow. Fuzz and curls mean separation and chaos. Drag arrows grow when the canopy faces the gale. Lift arrows appear when you angle it like a shallow roof, pushing flow up and over. The trick is to keep the streamlines tidy enough to guide the air without turning your gear into a parachute. Smooth motions calm the lines. Fidgeting rights, static into the wind. Lower your center of mass, and the sidewalk forgives more sins. Bend knees, a touch. Hinge at hips, and keep your ribcage stacked over your feet. Your umbrella hand can float because your legs are doing stability work. On slick pavement, reduce step length and plant the foot fully. Slicing steps look cool until Moo shrugs. If you must climb stairs during a gust, drop the umbrella to hip height and let the canopy trail downwind, not hang above like a kite begging for custody. Urban air has updrafts. 2. Subway grates, alley fans, and thermal plumes from vents can flip your canopy from below. When you cross a grate, reduce angle of attack to nearly flat. Allow the umbrella to become a shield instead of a scoop, and pass briskly. If warm air is fogging your glasses, it's also trying to lift your canopy. 2 steps faster beats 10 seconds of wrestling. The city exhales. You sidestep the side. Not all umbrellas are created equal. Vented canopies bleed pressure spikes. Flexible ribs bend and rebound instead of cracking. Compact windproof models trade span for structureless coverage but more control. If your city lives in the gale belt, prioritize rib count, joint quality, and a comfortable choke point on the shaft. A wrist loop is more than decoration when a bus wake decides you're interesting. Buy once, keep tendons happy for years. Pedestrian etiquette is stealth physics. Tilt the canopy edge away from oncoming walkers so your wake doesn't splash them. And lift slightly when passing narrow gaps to prevent edge-to-edge jousting. In tight queues, fold early instead of fencing. Doorways deserve surgical entries. Angle the canopy downwind. Pivot through. Unfold only after the door shuts behind you. The smoothest moves feel like magic because the air hardly notices you were there. Forecasting microgoosts is pattern recognition with a side of humility. Watch tree crowns 2 blocks ahead, flags on cranes, the flicker of streetlight banners. If birds are flying crabwise, expect a crosswind at corners. Glance at the debris swirl. Clockwise versus counterclockwise hints where the slap will come from. Mentally map canyons long. Straight corridors amplify. T intersections reflect. The more you anticipate, the less you react, and the drier your mood stays. Drills make elegance repeatable. Practice on a breezy day. Walk a block, maintaining a steady handle, angle while varying canopy tilt, then the opposite. Try stepping off leeward, rotating windward, and re-expanding the dome in one smooth beat fold. Turn, deploy. Time your breaths to gusts. Inhale in the lull, exhale through the shove. The goal is automation. When your body writes the moves, your brain can clown around narrating them. Myth-busting. Running hard into the wind doesn't make you braver. It multiplies relative speed and drags your dignity across the avenue. If you must cross open ground, shorten strides, tuck elbows, reduce frontal area, and angle the canopy so it glances the flow. Keep phones inside the coat, not the windward pocket, and shoulder your bag on the leeward side, so it doesn't become a surprise sale. Small details cash out as big calm. Final lap. The city throws a gust. Our stick tilts, rotates, and slides into a boss's wake. Canopy barely murmuring. At the bridge, he preloads the lean, lets the rail cut the crosswind, and keeps steps like a drummer. Steady, small, on the last corner, he dips, turns, and the umbrella stays a tool, not a headline. The HUD blinks, a polite flow managed. Rain keeps raining. Wind keeps additioning. We walk on, drier and smugger, because we listened to the air, and it answered.